Hey guitar players, in this lesson I want to talk about a subject that comes up a lot, which is changing from chord to chord quickly. This is a real problem for a lot of players, so what I'm going to do in this lesson is I'm going to talk about it from a beginner perspective and then a more advanced perspective, because to be quite honest with you, the issues and how you combat this are all the same. So first things first, the easiest way to look at changing from chord to chord is deciding, when you're looking at the chords that you've got, have you got any notes that are in common? Now what I mean by that is, if I take a C major chord in the open position, real basic chord form, if I'm going to be changing from this C major chord into an A minor, well actually two of the notes of C major are already in the correct position for A minor. It's these two fingers here, the first finger and the second finger. So what I would do to go from my C major to my A minor, I would take my third finger off the guitar whilst keeping these two connected to the guitar. So I call these connecting fingers. They connect to this chord to the next chord. What I would then do is I would take the third finger off and then just put it hovering above the string and above the frets that it's about to play. So it's about to go to the second fret on the G string. Put that down, and now I've gone from my C chord over here into my A minor. Okay, super simple way of changing chords by keeping those two fingers connected. Now if we keep this as a sort of open chord beginner type discussion, imagine if we were going to do something like go from a C major chord into an E major chord, which is not the most common chord change, but out there is trying to learn to play the Nirvana song Something in the Way, I think it's called Something in the Way, that uses a C chord and an E chord. Now those two chords, as you see me doing those changes, they don't have a common finger or a common note that you can keep on the guitar. So what I have to do is take all of my fingers away and then change them into a different shape to be able to play that chord. Now where most guitar players go wrong with this, what they will do is they will take their fingers off of the guitar and then try to put their fingers down one at a time. So if I was strumming, I'd get something like this. It just doesn't work because you've got to wait for your fingers to all arrive at the new chord on time. So what you want to do is take your fingers off, change into that new chord shape, hovering above the strings and above the frets that you're about to play. So this is basically happening in mid-air. You've probably heard other people talking about this sort of thing, calling it air changes. So what you'll do is you take your fingers off, change into that new chord shape before you've put anything on the guitar, then put all of your fingers down at once. So up, change the shape, then put all the fingers down. Up, change the shape, put all the fingers down and strum. Now this is very, very hard to do in the beginning. It's not something that comes naturally to any guitar player really. So what you need to practice is the art of changing the chords in the air. So if I do this quite quickly, you'll see that my hands are just going bang, bang, bang from one chord to the next. That's because I have memorized the chord, okay? So it's very, very important that you commit the chords to memory. And then it's very, very important after that that you actually practice doing the chord changes. Most guitar players just want to go immediately to playing the song, and you can't do that. There's a bit of background work involved. Not a lot, it doesn't take a lot of practice to be able to do that, but it will take some. So that's kind of like a beginner way of looking at these sorts of things. Now imagine that you're a much more advanced guitar player and we're not playing open position chords. You might be doing something like this. This is a D minor 9. Okay, I'm going to just go back to my guitar view. So let's have a look at this. This is a D minor 9, sort of like a jazzier kind of chord voicing. Then I might go from that into G7 sharp 5, and then into this, which is C major 7, and then into this, A7 sharp 5, which will take me on a chord progression which loops. Now, my chord changing with this, I'm looking for these common tones, but again, I haven't really got any. Well, I've got a common tone here. I've got the F note where I'm going from my D minor into my G7 sharp 5, but I can't physically finger it with the first finger like that. So what I'm having to do, again, is take the fingers off, morph them into the new chord shape, then put all my fingers down in one go. So, from there into my C major 7. Now here we've got something which is kind of interesting in that to go to this C major 7, although I've got no actual common notes, well I have, again I've got common notes actually, I've got B here, but I can't use that same finger to do it. I've got to change a few things around. But what I do have is where this note is, which is the sharp 5 of my G7, that is only one fret away from the E that's in my C major 7. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping this finger connected to the guitar and I'm just sliding it along. So rather than having to take all of my fingers off, change into that new shape and then put it down, which is a hard thing to do, what I'm just doing is taking these 3 fingers off the guitar, finger 1, 2 and 3, I slide my 4th finger forward 1 fret and then put down the others. So I've now got a finger, if I want to go G7 sharp 5, C major 7, G7 sharp 5, C major 7, this finger is connecting those 2 chords just by sliding around the B string. Now again, if I'm going from my C major 7 into the A7 sharp 5, I can use a connecting finger again by sliding that 4th finger forward 1 fret, or it depends on the player. For me, I like to take all of the fingers off, morph into that shape and just put it all down in one go. And then of course you're back into the beginning. So, in summary, when you're looking at changing from chord to chord, you want to look to see if you've got any common notes. If you've got common notes, then you can keep a finger in the same place, or at the very least, if you can keep a finger on the same string throughout your chord changing, you've got a way of connecting yourself from one chord to the next. If not, the best option is to morph your fingers into the shape of a new chord before you have to play it. Morph your fingers into that shape, hovering above the strings and above the frets that you're about to play, then put all your fingers down in one go. There is unfortunately work involved in being able to do this. It's not something that is like a completely quick fix, but if you put in some effort into working on memorizing the chords that you're going to do and working on the changes, then you're probably looking at being able to play thousands and thousands of songs. Okay guys, I really hope that that has helped. If you are looking for more help than I can offer here in this video, go to the links in the description or in my channel bio, and you will find that there is a link there to a free masterclass course which will tell you all of the things that I do with my students and show you the journey that I take them on to get them to learn their fretboard, get good technique, and then be able to play all the music that they want to play. If you want more direct help from me, you want to be able to speak to me in a lesson capacity, I have a calendar that you can click through to on there where you can book a free session with me to see if I can help you out any further. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Thanks ever so much for watching. See you next time. Take care.